Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Melissa Muir. Today's video, we're still continuing our All About Accessories series with Fordham. And today I want to talk about unitized wheels. So what is that? Let's take a look. In my studio, I actually have a fairly good variety, even though they're not all here, of unitized wheels. I have some that are mounted that will fit into my flex shaft or a micromotor type of setting. And then I have those that are compressed, non-compressed, also has a little hub. So they come in different models, and this is going to fit like on my BL or my bench lathe or my polishing machine. So what is a unitized wheel? Well, in this case, these are all different fibers that have been impregnated with different grits of whether it's aluminum oxide or some other kind of abrasive. And again, some are compressed, some are not quite so compressed, but each of them are going to help me in one way or another, whether I'm trying to blend or remove burrs or just to give a nice matte finish. Now with this accessory, I cannot stress safety enough. These are going to have particles that fly off of them as you are using them. It's just part of the accessory. So make certain you are wearing your safety goggles. Pull your hair back if you happen to have long hair, as well as wearing a mask. Protect your lungs at all costs. So in this case, I happen to have a bezel that the seam is a little bit rough. I have some extra solder on here. So I've chosen a more compressed unitized wheel. So this one has a little bit more aggressiveness to it. It also has a more aggressive grit embedded into this. As I bring this around my piece, I begin to smooth and blend any of that solder that's on there, as well as any rough edges. Now, if I were to do this just with my unitized wheel, it may take a little bit of time. So I would probably start with filing first, and I would come back in and blend with my unitized accessory afterwards. I also really like the shape of this cone because it allows me to get into the inside of my rings as well as smaller items. Now here I have a cuff that I began working on a while ago, and it's been left kind of neglected and just unfinished. So we have a bit of tarnish that has shown up. Also, this bezel could use a little bit of help. So I've chosen a slightly more aggressive but also a thinner unitized wheel that will allow me to work around this bezel to remove a lot of that oxidation. And again, I can blend in that seam so that that goes away. And you can see how quickly this works. Now, as you can see, I'm able to work right close up to that bezel and get that all taken care of where the bezel meets that back plate. Now, if desired, I can progress through finer and finer grits of these until I've worked my way up into a pre-polish, and then I can just jump right into my polishing methods. But in this case, I actually want that matte finish right where I've achieved it. Now, in the case of this pendant, I've just let it sit out for a while, and it's got a lot of surface oxidation. And sometimes that patina is desired, and sometimes not quite so much. This has more of a brownish greenish tinge, one that I'm not really super keen on. So I've selected a very soft unitized wheel. And again, I'm just going to come in here and work my way around the pendant, and you can see immediately the difference that it makes. Just very gentle touch on this. It doesn't even take much pressure. And here you can see the difference between the spots that I've done versus the spots that I have not yet done. Now, as you can see, they come in different sizes, they come in different shapes, they also just come in different densities. Now, those that are a little bit more dense are going to be a little more aggressive. Also, the different sizes allow you to get into tighter spots like rings or cuffs or bracelets, anything like that. And then you also have some that are a little bit larger. Those that have softer densities are going to be best for decorative finishing as they conform more readily to the contours of your surface. So that's going to be something that gives us more of this nice soft matte finish. Whereas those that have a harder density are going to be better for more difficult blending, surface cleaning, and deburring. So hopefully that helps you understand a little bit more about how these unitized accessories work. Now I've got another set of videos coming up that's going to talk about some of the larger ones that we use on a polishing arbor and how they would work a little bit differently. Now, it is important that you remember that they are consumables. These are going to wear down, but you can make them last a little bit longer by using a lighter touch and using them at the right speed. I find that I work best between 5,000 to 8,000 RPM on these, and again, a really light touch. It doesn't take much, and allow this tool to do the job for you. But if you push really hard or you run it at a high speed, then the chances of you wearing it down very quickly are pretty good. So if you'd like to stay informed about when we come out with new videos, make sure you give us a thumbs up on this video, subscribe, ring that bell, and mark that you'd like all notifications so that you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. We'll see you guys next time.